Good morning, everybody. Hello from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I am finally back home after what was a really long adventure, but a great one. I was out east in Halifax and went to Vancouver Island and then back to Vancouver. And I ended up picking some neat stuff. So if you haven't seen my videos of Halifax, or if you haven't seen the video of me trying to get the Royal 39 McLaughlin Buick back here to a museum, you should really watch those. But I thought I'd do a live feed this morning, and as you're logging on, definitely say hello, and I'll try and answer back if I'm paying attention to the screen there. But I wanted to show you guys some of the cool stuff. Now, I was out and I bought a lot of stuff, and there's a whole palette of things that haven't even come in the shop yet. But just to give you a sample of the sort of stuff that has arrived, I'm going to give you a little tour here, and I'm pretty sure you're going to think it's cool stuff. So there goes the camera the other way. I'm going to pan around the shop. By the way, for those of you that haven't seen my shop, we have all kinds of cool odds and ends, from motorcycles to carvings. You might have seen that one in the video where I went to Halifax. And I ended up purchasing a bunch of stuff from an estate the other day, and it was mostly automobilia. Now, literature is sometimes a little bit tricky to sell, but I ended up getting some really early books. And hi, Jacob, and it's nice to see you guys on. These are automotive repair manuals, but they're not just any automotive repair manuals. If you start to look at the dates, some of these are really cool. This one's Dyke's Aircraft Engine Instructor. This is from the very first days of aircraft, 1928, first edition. And these sorts of things just on people's bookshelves. But I went to a fellow's, well, he'd passed away, went to an estate, and all these books were sitting there, and I just couldn't pass them up because they're so early and so cool. A lot of these are, let's see, neat stuff like original Ford manuals for Model Ts. So if somebody has, you know, like a Model T, all these little brochures are nice things to add along with it. So, and I happen to have a lot of friends with Model, might have to keep that one for myself since I've got the Model A race car. So all kinds of neat things. Some advertising, some art, reference books for trucks. So some cool automobilia. And of course, these books are early. You can kind of see the date there, 1918 on this one. So if you've got an early car, that's cool stuff. This is another neat piece, little advertisement. It's paper, and it's been on this. Somebody must have cut it off of a board or had it stuck there. So really early paper advertisement, probably was up in a shop. And you can see that the shop at the time, they just backed it with cardboard, and this cardboard is old product box to stiffen up this little sign there. And the last vehicle this was used on was for Hudson Terraplanes, so you've got to be going back to the 30s. So 1920s ad, somebody in the 30s, or to make it a little sign, so really cool. This, you know, initially I thought this was a reproduction, but as I'm looking at it, there was a lot of new old stock, like these air filter or oil filter. This is actually a new old stock oil filter sign that I got when I got all these boxes of oil filters, and it was in such good shape that I thought it was fake. But you can actually see, printed in USA, 1930, and nothing in this guy's house was unauthentic. So just the condition really threw me off, because it's like brand new, but I've never had that sign before. Really cool piece. And as we move along here, so a fortune teller machine with the little cards, that's pretty cool. I gotta load it up and see if it works later. See what my fortune is, whether maybe I'm gonna win the lottery or something, and this machine will know the answers. Incidentally, if anybody ever has a Zoltar machine like in the movie Big, I am trying to find one of those, an antique one, not a new one. These are all wood blocks for printing. This would have been used in a shop. Hi Sean, nice to see you from the United Kingdom there. My trip was fantastic. These, I think when these videos post, they're reversed, so you might be actually reading that in the right direction. I don't know if you guys can see if that's facing the right way for you. It's backwards for me, but these are all wood blocks that would have been used for a printing press at an automotive shop. So, you know, talking about brake repair. Let's see what else is going on here. Oh yeah, this is neat. Your tire is here. So all kinds of neat stuff. I haven't even gone through these, actually. I'm looking at these the first time that you guys are. Some of these are just darn cool, and that's early stuff. I don't even know, you know, the problem is with this kind of stuff, you don't even know what to really price it at, because there isn't another one out there. There's a nice old bus, print block 30s bus. So I'm gonna have to dig through all this stuff. I'm getting excited watching, just going through it on camera here. I'm gonna have to stay focused, otherwise you'll just be like me just going through all these wood blocks. But I find this stuff just fascinating. You know, that these would have been advertisements for papers, and you know, whoever had that shop would have kept them. This, I believe, now somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, that looked like a Rolls-Royce center cap, like teens or 20s. If you're watching and you know your Rollses, I figured take the shot at it because of the R looks like the Rolls-Royce script, and there was some high-end car parts there, and this is off of, I believe, a Pierce. So these aren't everyday cars that this guy had parts for. They had an Auburn, they had a really beautiful Packard, and there will be a video on that adventure coming up soon, but I didn't do a video on all the stuff I got, so that's what today's all about. So like little odds and ends, let's see what's in here. Quigley protective coating. I like the image on there. Sometimes, you know, you just like these little cans and advertisements, especially if they got a good graphic, so things like that are pretty cool. Manual, okay, let's see. Dealers in British Columbia, used car trade-in value is $19.30. That's kind of interesting. I wonder what they were getting for used cars back then. Hey, this is cool. So let's see what a McLaughlin Buick went for. A sport room value, $1,670. Jordan, LaSalle. It's pretty neat. I'd like to have had a time machine and have all the modern day money to be able to go back and buy these old cars. Look, prices to trade in Accord. Oh, they paid good money for Accord, $5,100 for a cabriolet. So it was still pretty desirable in 1930 if you had one cross your path. That's a cool piece. I actually haven't seen a little black book from the 30s before with all the prices. That's the sort of thing I might actually hang on to myself. That's just too neat, and I don't know when I'd find another one. That's pretty cool. That's why you got to go through all these little boxes, because you never know what sort of stuff's going to be in here. Let's see. Oh. That's enamel, Packard's International. It's pretty cool. Might not be terribly old. Hard to say. Probably 60s or 50s maybe. That would go on an old 20s or 30s car up by the grill. That's pretty neat. Another car club badge. I love going through these boxes. Hopefully you guys don't mind that we're taking the time to dig through, because I'm actually seeing a lot of this stuff for the first time myself. Automobile Club of British Columbia with the Beaver on there. You can see that. That's pretty neat. That'd be early days. Not a lot of people had cars. A little box of lamps. Actually, it's still full. I love the graphics on this. The cars, their headlights lighting up the sign. But that looks like a full, yeah, pretty well full box of headlamp bulbs. Pretty neat. Little Pottery Tank, probably World War I sort of wartime propaganda. Crondall. Pretty cool. This looks like the tank in Indiana Jones that he got crushed against the side of the cliff with. I'm sure that's not the same type, and somebody will probably correct me. More car club badges, some little Mark's toys. It's like a little helicopter, and I imagine the airplane's probably in there too. Lone Ranger lapel watch. Oh, that's neat. See, you never know what's going to be in these. Little holder here with a knife. I don't know. I just have so much fun going through boxes like this. So I'll have to sort through all this stuff and see exactly what all is in here later on and lay it all out. But so far, I'm seeing a lot of really cool stuff. And that's the trunk. Incidentally, all this stuff. The trunk that we used to bring it back. And I brought this thing on the airplane. This was probably like 150 pounds of books and stuff when I brought it back, but they took it on the plane, no problem. And this is actually a trunk off of a car, like a car trunk that would have strapped onto a car. You can tell it's got the attachment points to put it on a car. Pretty neat. So I'm going to pan around and try and not make you guys all motion sick from moving the camera too fast. Sometimes I get overexcited and I do that. These are some license plate toppers. This is from the Halifax trip, so you know people do collect these to put on their old cars. Lots of car club badges, old license plates. There's a bayonet, probably a World War II bayonet. This is that's the little pepper box, the Dragoon that I got. That's actually quite a bit longer, but I shipped it to myself, and I actually just got it in the mail today. There's a Colt Derringer in this box, an early one, second generation. Flags, some long guns came in. So definitely having a lot of fun with the antiques around the shop today. I'll probably have to hang all these old flags up You can tell these are definitely the older ones because they're linen, they're not nylon. So they're probably pre-1960s. I think it was in the 60s they mainly went to the nylon, like this one's newer, that's nylon. So I'll see what country flags I have, and some of these are ship safety flags, you know, there's some probably man overboard, things like that. So I guess actually if I need to know what flags are which, I've got a little chart here, which is pretty handy. So yeah, keep clear. They all have a different meaning. So I'll go through and see which ones I have. Yeah, that's actually a handy thing to have. Glad I got that. So lots of stuff. It's probably going to take me all day to go through all this, but that's one of the benefits when you go to look at really cool things. Like I went out there to look at that Royal McLaughlin Buick, and if you guys didn't watch the video yet, check it out. The goal is to try and get that car in the museum out here. But I went to go see the car. The guy said, well, I have friends with all kinds of antiques that they're looking to sell. Do you want to come with me? And of course I said yes, because who wouldn't? So lots of neat stuff. You know, you just never know what you're going to come across and what you're going to find. I always look forward to getting the stuff back to the shop and, you know, finding some neat things. Somebody's asked me to show the Colt Derringer. Yeah, I will. I just have to open up the box. This was cool too. Father actually raised show horses back in the 1920s, and I got all of his ribbons from winning the shows. So he's not using it, his family isn't as interested, and yeah, I ended up with it. But I'm gonna flip the camera around and see if I can show you that Derringer. So here we go. Try and undo a lock with one hand. I should have been more prepared. This is the nice thing about doing videos in advance. You can actually edit a lot of this stuff out. So here we go. And got to be careful with this stuff. Good thing it landed on that. So it's just a little guy. But yeah, I'll see if I can get to the Colt name on it. Probably kind of hard to see on camera here, but it actually says Colt right on the top. If I can get it to focus, you can kind of see it in the light, guys. It says Colt. So I believe this is the second model Derringer that they had. This is just little, you know, the original pocket protector, you might say. So a lot of these single shot guns were really just self-defense. Pretty neat though, you know. And they used to make little cap guns of Derringers and stuff, so they're popular collectible. And nice little thing that I brought back from the coast. So hopefully you guys like seeing these adventures and these trips. This past month there's been a lot of travel. I went to a farm today. Summertime is the time when all this stuff seems to happen. So make sure to stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. You can email me anytime, curiosityedmonton@gmail.com, if you have questions, if there's things you're interested in buying, because we're not just kind of like a little show here. We actually do sell all this stuff, except maybe that little black book I have on the cars, because it's pretty cool. Lots of adventures to come. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all of you guys. My pleasure to show you the Derringer. Anytime you guys have requests on these things, I try and fulfill it whenever I can. But yeah, so this ends another live feed. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to check us out online at curiosityedmonton.ca. Mind you, I haven't updated the website in a while, so I'd probably go through the Facebook page under Curiosity Incorporated, or our Instagram account too, which is at Curiosity Inc. YEG. And the YEG, that's just our airport code for Edmonton, YEG, so that's why that's there. So my pleasure, guys. Have a wonderful morning or evening, depending on what side of the world you're in, and stay tuned for more adventures. They're only getting more interesting as I go along. See you soon, and bye for now.